Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Pro Wrestling LookBack pay-per-view show. On tonight's show, we're going to take a look back at Survivor Series 2002. It was the first ever Elimination Chamber match. I'm sitting here with...
Donovan, D-O-N-O-V-A-N.
Younger.
Jag.
Mike D.
Yeah, we're going to go right into the show. It took place at Madison Square Garden on November 17th, 2002. The attendance was 17,930. It was a pretty good show. I really enjoyed it. It was the first time I had taken the time to go back and watch a show from 2002. Maybe not the only show from 2002, but definitely this show. I'd never looked back specifically at this show before, and I was enjoying seeing the first Elimination Chamber. Any quick thoughts from anybody to jump right off?
Yeah, for me, I just got to say off the top, I really love that arena and the smaller aisleway, that MSG classic feel to it, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely miss that. It's something that I think they changed at MSG, and we're not going to have anymore.
Mm-hmm. I have another interesting point to bring up to all you guys. There was no traditional Survivor Series match. Did you guys notice that at all? Not one. We didn't get.
Yeah, you know what? That's something I'm not even picking up now until
since you brought it up,
doing the recording here. But that's a good point. I don't know if we've had a Survivor Series in the past, especially with the Survivor Series pay-per-view being based around that match. Mm-hmm. Not having one. But before we go right into the matches, we had two new guests here with us on the Pro Wrestling Look Back. We got Mike and Jag. I just wanted to kind of get their perspective, just for you guys, what kind of matches they're into, and just kind of tell us two of their favorite matches that they've seen in the time they've been watching wrestling. I'll start with Jag.
Well, for me, one of my favorites would be 2004 WrestleMania, the return of The Undertaker versus Kane.
Yeah,
that was sick.
That was one of the because the build up towards that match.
I was just gonna say the story.
The build up from 2003 all the way till then.
Yeah,
and it was just it was
good
a good story.
No, absolutely.
And then on the same card, Chris Benoit winning the main event. After going 20, build up for that, was also
and even better might be Eddie Guerrero coming out after, and with the two championships and celebrating.
That was that was one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, and what about you, Mike?
I got lots of favorite matches. I like any match pretty much, but recently in 2016, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at Battleground, which is a really sweet match.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Me and you, I think, watched that back a couple months ago.
Yep. Sammy getting the win. Pretty crazy.
He did, yeah.
Very good match. And then my second match, I'm going to go out of WWE.
That's totally fine. We take a look at all pro wrestling here.
It's a match at PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Mystery Vortex, I think, 4. Death by Elbow, Chris Hero, and JT Dunn against Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, Red Dragon, now Undisputed Era.
Awesome,
which is amazing.
I don't know if I've seen that one, but that definitely sounds like
crazy, strong, serious match. I don't know. It's changed my whole perspective on wrestling.
That's
amazing.
That's kind of what you want.
Good match,
right? Totally. Good. I just kind of wanted to get those two from you guys, just to kind of give anybody listening a perspective of our favorite types of matches, and other than that, I wanted to mention, I know, Mike, for you, that we've talked about in the past, 2002 is kind of a special time for you, and you've said to me that you almost feel like this is kind of the height, maybe, of WWE's peak. I mean, I know people tend to think that the Attitude Era is the height, but I feel like this era, with the injection of the WCW stars that they did get, and the risks that they were taking with the brand split and stuff, it was really good. Any thoughts kind of on that?
I don't know about anything about behind the scenes where it was making more money or it was a big breakout time, but for me I was like 12 watching it. It was my second year of watching wrestling. It was just seemed crazy and exciting to me, and it was good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my
favorite
times too.
Yeah, continuing to watch wrestling, and then you look back on it and it was just stacked cards all the time. You can go back and it's timeless, good stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. High talent ratio.
And this pay-per-view speaks volumes to that, honestly, as you guys will hear.
Totally. One other thing I just had written down again before we go into the first match, but the Pyro. I think I'm going to bring this up on a lot of the pro wrestling lookbacks that we do. but the lack of pyro now in 2018 compared to the pyro that we had.
Fire codes.
Yeah, and it's budget too. I understand it, and I mentioned it on another podcast we did, but I think like if they saved the pyro for pay-per-views at the beginning of the show, that would be fine. I can deal with no pyro in entrances. I can deal with no pyro, on Raw every week, but give me pyros other than just at WrestleMania. Like, we just got finished watching Royal Rumble 2018, and there was no pyro in the entire show.
Zero.
Yeah.
Any thoughts kind of just on that? I mean, we had JR and King as our Raw commentators with Michael Cole and Taz, which was, I mean, probably the best four.
Best
four, yeah.
Yeah, I think we all do. I know some of us here are fans of the Taz show, so
yes,
definitely somebody we miss. But we also mentioned that there was signs everywhere. It's kind of a given in 2002 and lower 98 era.
Yep.
But anything else from you guys stand out that we want to go into before we jump right in?
No. For me, like the arena, I said, was a big.
I had that written down as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Literally,
you were up close. You were up close and personal right there. Yeah. Even down the aisleway, it's a small highway. You just get right there.
Minimal stage.
It looks better. Yeah.
Pack the people in. Absolutely.
You don't have the giant Titantron blocking your view.
Absolutely.
Good because MSG. There's been lots of legendary like cage type matches there. So
yes.
To have the first chamber match there is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I never even thought about that. Yeah,
lots of
that totally makes
sense. I feel
sense.
like the Snuka when he did the dive off the top of the cage was in MSG, right?
Yeah, probably some sort of Bruno match back in the day too. You never know. There's lots of stuff. Hard to see too. Like the chamber is probably hard to see for the fans up in the nosebleeds. So why not have it in MSG with a smaller crowd but all diehards?
Perfect. We'll go right in. The first match, it was pretty awesome. It was something different. It was a 6-man elimination tables match. Yeah. We had Jeff Hardy, Bubba Dudley, and Spike Dudley versus Rosie, Jamal, and Rico. This was something I personally, like I'd mentioned before, I hadn't watched this pay-per-view in the past, but I didn't know about the 3-minute warning, and I know that was something Mike brought up as soon as he kind of came in. He mentioned about the 3-minute warning.
Badass.
Is there anything you can kind of give me an insight as to what they were about, or other than what I saw in the match with kind of their gear and some of the moves that they did?
From what I remember as a kid, lots of run-ins and just
badasses, basically.
They're really winning very much, but badasses, yeah. Of course, 2 tough guys, 2 good boys.
Well, what was it called? Like with them, they were just rough. These 2 big guys doing some crazy shit, high flying sometimes, but guys above that 300 mark, it's pretty damn good. They did in a short span of time. They were a tag team. They did very well.
They did damage. Yeah. How about you, Zach? I know you're kind of on the same boat as me with this pay per view in watching it for the first time. Did these guys stand out at all, or are they people you kind of wish were still around, or?
Yeah, for sure. I think the match was like unreal, like especially like what's his name, Jamal flying off
the table, off the top rope onto the table onto Hardy. That was a really good spot. But yeah, Donovan, for you?
With 3-minute warning?
Yeah, just to kind of go into them. Just I didn't really know who they were, so I kind of wanted to.
I hate Rico.
Get your guys' opinion. Yeah, Rico's definitely separate from the 3-minute
Yeah, you know what? That I don't really remember. Was Rico with them all the time? I wasn't sure of.
I remember him more with Billy and Chuck.
Right? I remember that.
My favorite, Billy Gunn.
But yeah, no. Back to 3-minute warning. I remember them being that just 2 badass Samoans, just very like a hitman type of group. Just
totally
a lot of run-ins, like Mike said, just wrecking guys all the time.
Absolutely.
Can't forget, like Umaga's run was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, after that was a crazy run.
And
crazy good run.
Rosie didn't do bad for himself.
No, I mean he
had the hurricane
with the run with the hurricane, and I mean what?
So merch.
Not you didn't like the whole.
I did not like the superhero.
It was I mean
I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting.
But
you need some hokey shit too every now and then. You need
Yes, you need comedic
it's wrestling,
relief.
yeah.
Definitely. On a more serious note, I think before we get into the match, I think we should definitely mention that these 2 wrestlers did pass away.
Yes.
Being, Umaga later on in the career, and Rosie, I think, was it recently in the last...
Recently, I want to say like maybe last year.
2017, probably.
Yeah.
It was in that region. I think it was 2016. I think.
Maybe 2016. Yeah, either way. So, just to kind of give them their respects.
Yep.
But it was an elimination tables match, which... You don't really see a lot of 6-man elimination table matches, but I definitely wanted to make a note that Jeff Hardy's was over as fuck. I mean, Not that that's a change from
always.
Yeah, anything that Jeff Hardy does on a regular basis, but in this match I definitely noticed, the crowd fanfare and I think I had to ask you guys if he had been split up from Matt at this point, and you guys mentioned that Matt was doing his V1
on SmackDown, yes.
Over on SmackDown, yeah.
It's a draft.
Dudley because they split up a lot of...
Everyone got split up. Yeah, Dudley's got split up too.
Yeah, I feel like all the big teams, Edge, Christian...
Yeah, we'll get to the Dudley splitting up in this match in a little bit. But the match was fast-paced, it was quick. Jeff was crazy. We thought it was a pretty good thing or a pretty good match, I should say, to open the show. Is anything you guys want to say kind of about the match?
Yeah, I totally agree with it opening the show. I thought it was a great way to start it off. Like, very fast paced. Everybody, it was always go, go, go. There was no dead points in that match. Everybody put in a great job. Honestly, I was really impressed. Even with Rico, because that's not a guy who you see.
And the one spot that kind of caught Zach there, it caught me when I watched it too. We both kind of thought, did he mean to slip and fall there?
Off the top rope, yeah.
I think he did.
Crazy.
That
was crazy.
He looked. I think it was weird. He definitely looked like he fell for real. But then the fact that he fell and Bubba caught him and they did that spot, I think it was something.
Even when Jeff fell off the barricade. There.
Oh yeah.
We were gonna get to that. Don't worry. That I had it written down as taking the bump of death because Jeff Hardy
right into the table.
Yeah, he puts him kind of into the barricade area opposite of the entrance area, kind of the same sort of entrance, but with no, LED boards.
Yes, yeah.
I got a surprising fact. Like what I noticed a little bit too is that there was a lot of high flying for a lot of these guys that are pretty big.
Yeah.
For high flying. Like if you
Jeff Hardy moves.
Jeff Hardy obviously, but even Bubba was on at least the second rope.
And Rosie and Jamal, they were moving.
Rosie and Jamal.
The table spot you mentioned.
And Spike.
Spike was moving.
Those are crazy.
I have to mention, just because you brought up Spike, I'm not a big fan of the spot where Bubba kind of throws Spike into the other guys. I know it's part of the gimmick and whatnot, but it's definitely not my favorite spot.
But Jeff Hardy saved that by jumping right on top of it.
The big brother throwing the runt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a spot they did regularly, I feel like, right?
Yeah, that's why I don't know. It's just, I don't know, it's nitpicking at the end of the day, but it's...
Dudleys are sweet, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we had, I had it written down here, Umaga, but that was before you guys mentioned to me that it was Jamal. So we had that one spot where Bubba kind of had, I think it was Rico in the corner and Jamal moved the table. I thought that was kind of cool. It's something you don't see often, where somebody moving a table prior to a move landing on the mat.
Yes. Yeah.
But basically we had, Spike went out first. We had Rosie going out through the table bump we mentioned with Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy goes out to the bump we mentioned with Jamal, going outside the ring through the table.
Awesome.
That was unbelievable. The height,
probably my favorite spot of the match.
I would agree. If not the one that Jag mentioned a minute ago about Jeff Hardy kind of doing the running jump, because the height was unbelievable. Yeah. It was crazy.
Hang time. He got the hang time on that one.
Yeah.
Those pants that he was wearing was crazy too.
Jeff Hardy's gear?
Yeah, his gear was different. He had a different kind of face paint I hadn't normally seen before. How was it that Jamal got eliminated again? Do you guys remember?
Jamal is Rosie, correct?
Yeah, Rosie.
Jeff Hardy did.
Or no, Jamal is Umaga.
Bubba, I want to say Bubba got it out, right?
Yeah.
I remember leading into it with
and
the
then
Bubba bomb.
And then we had... No, you know what it was? Jamal came in with Rosie, and they were kind of doing a three-man beatdown after they'd already been eliminated, and then we had the big reveal. Devon Dudley coming out from SmackDown there to help relieve Bubba, and we eventually got the 3D through the tables.
Yeah, great way.
To plenty of fanfare, but any thoughts kind of... I want to go right into the splitting of the Dudleys, and I mean, I know a few of you were watching at the time back then, and just kind of, I don't know, take the table. I don't know if Mike, Jag, or Donovan, you guys want to start it off, but just kind of give me your thoughts on whether that was a good idea, and you can throw in them splitting up the Hardy Boys as well. I'm kind of curious if that was a good idea.
Well, in my opinion, it was a good thing because they weren't just stuck as only tag team, people grew. Obviously Jeff, the fans love him. Mm-hmm. Even Bubba had a nice little run there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Matt, same thing on SmackDown. Devon, I don't know. Didn't really the Reverend thing didn't really catch on, but
it did introduce us to
Batista.
It did introduce us.
Batista, exactly.
Yeah, I had that written down too. You guys mentioned Reverend. I kind of put a question mark there. What was that gimmick really all about? I've heard you guys mention...
Testify!
I've heard it, yeah, I obviously know Testify, and I've heard you guys mention it before, but if you had to give me a elevator pitch of the Reverend gimmick, what would that be?
I can speak on this a little bit here, because I know I was watching something, and then Devon was... I know this gimmick was, like, very close to him, because I think he grew up, his family, like, in a very church environment.
His dad's a Reverend.
Yeah, his dad was a Reverend, so, like,
he
was really behind it.
He knows about to get into the...
He did it well, and his whole thing was always the
Was
the
he
testify.
wearing?
Yeah, his gear was totally different.
I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to look it up.
We're gonna have to look back.
I remember
as we
in
say
the draft
here.
when they first broke them up in the draft, they played like the Dudleys got a lot of airtime talking about like what if we break up, we're not gonna break up, and then they got drafted, and then I think Bubba got drafted first, and he kind of threw like a fit in front of everyone.
Yeah,
he
in the
got
backstage
drafted.
area.
Yeah. But he had a good run. I remember he won I don't know who he won the title from. It was some sort of match. Someone had some.
He won.
He did. Remember, he did some like dance move. It was.
I remember he had a run with the.
Hilarious. I don't remember what match it was.
With the
Bubba's always good, entertaining guy, and Bubba Bomb's crazy finisher.
Yes.
Good finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a run with the hardcore title, I know, during that time, Bubba Dudley. And he even, I brought it up earlier when we were watching the show, he had, like, I remember having a world title match against Triple H.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy.
I can't believe that. It's just not something I mean, not that I can't believe it. It's not something I knew.
Yeah.
Bubba's good. They all stole the show at 2 WrestleManias in a row, those tag teams.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, yeah, Edge Christian and Dudley's and the Hardys.
Stole the show.
Other than that, yeah, we had Devon with the win. The Reverend comes in for the win. And that was pretty much it. Like we mentioned, it was a great match. I think we all kind of got our points across there. Great way to start a show. It kind of gave me the idea as soon as I seen this, and I was like, okay, I think we picked a good show to look back on here, especially with the Elimination Chamber coming at the end and the relevance to that happening here in February 2018. Mm-hmm. But the only other thing we have here is but next is the Saliva concert. That was definitely something that I wasn't used to, being more of a modern day WWE fan. I didn't get a lot of that now, or even when I kind of got in 2005. Is that a regular occurrence? Did you guys like this? How do you feel about that?
I liked it personally. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I like the live band.
I always like the live band. I mean, Motorhead playing Triple H's theme at WrestleMania has always been badass.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
like,
I agree totally with that. There's
been
been ones that have been...
Totally. It's always good. And then when D-Generation X had that, like, their own... I don't know if they had their own, like, pay-per-view or something. And they had
that was WrestleMania. I know what you're talking about.
And they all had, like, their own themes. And it adds, like, a little bit more of, like, a... I don't know, like, not an underground feel, but, like a punk ass or rocker feel.
Yeah,
to it. And it's kind of cool.
It's different. Definitely different scenes.
Makes like wrestling cool, or you feel cool or different because you watch and you're like you have it on. Rather than
something we don't get a lot now.
And I feel like it obviously made sense because they did the song for the pay-per-view too. Right?
Yeah, no, totally. But I mean, we always have sponsors for WWE pay-per-views, and I've never seen that. I mean, it must have been something that they stopped doing.
Well, you know what? That's because I don't want to see Flo Rida on.
Neither do I. That's what I was gonna say. It's not that I would want that. It's just something that's foreign to me as far as watching a pay-per-view and seeing. But it was definitely different, and they had that whole Manhattan, New York City club or whatever, WWE. I don't know what that was, but it was kind of...
I definitely agree with like more of a like how NXT nowadays has like a harder rock theme when they're when their pay-per-views go. They have a more punk rock or rock and roll theme, and then you go to a WWE pay-per-view or SmackDown pay-per-view, and it'll be more of a poppy song. Royal Rumble theme was good though.
I definitely think that has something to do
I like the more of a rock and roll
attitude
with wrestling. I don't know what it is. Like I like rap and all the pop songs, but I like more of rock and roll with wrestling.
You get your wrestling.
I think it fits more, whether it's...
I think around that time it was just like they would put heavy like pretty decent like metal bands, like rock bands. Like a lot of those pay-per-views had
Limp Bizkit, Korn, and all them.
Drowning
all
Pool,
making like good, like big, like actual, like big names for like music like that. That was good. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's
even Flo Rida's still a big name, but it's just more.
Yeah, but like
born out
when it comes to like wrestling, I don't want to watch a wrestling promo with Pitbull playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just feel like some of their choices are very.
I'm
26 years old. Man. I'm not trying to, like, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to watch. It's pop music.
Pop music is not.
I agree. I don't even enjoy the ones that they do on Mania when they've got Pitbull and Flo Rida and everybody coming out.
The lady singing the anthem.
It is what it is. They're trying to gear to more of a different, wider fan base, and I definitely think the NXT thing has a little something to do with our boy Hunter. And
he's a metal fan.
He's definitely more into that, and he definitely has his hands on the NXT product more than.
Well, they got some good themes.
Anybody else?
All the good NXT themes are good. Everything's perfect.
But no, I mean, I'd be open to seeing something like this come back. I think it was different.
Yeah.
And I like different in pro wrestling, and
the performance, they did that at WWE New York, right?
Yeah,
yes.
and the show was at MSG, as we said, as well, so it kind of made even more sense there.
Yeah. And they just like cut matches or whatever. Just like cut a match and then just have this random band. Or
Did you not like it as much?
I don't know. I just that's all I'm saying. It was different. Like you know what I mean. But like it'd be cool to see it again. Yeah. See if it works. I guess.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
Like he said though, rock only, no fucking hip hop and shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm into that too, but it just makes more sense.
We're all into hip hop, but
yeah, it just makes sense. Like
we want rock.
It's wrestling
in pro wrestling.
It's like
I feel the build up with any type of combat sport in general.
Yeah.
Put rock music with it.
Perfect.
Usually
that punk kind of
music. Anything that's heavy gets you hyped up.
Yeah.
Even some of the rock songs they're like rocky rap songs, even like with the Limp Bizkits and the Korn and all that. They're rocky rap kind of songs. Like
work. Oh, great. Speaking of music, we'll go into match 2. We had Billy Kidman and Jamie Noble with Nydia, and we were noticing at the beginning with Billy Kidman's new music. Was this something you guys noticed? I know I pointed it out just because I heard the commentators say it, and I know you guys mentioned, oh wow, I never noticed that he even changed it.
Yeah, I mean, this music that he used on the pay-per-view is what I remember always hearing. I don't know what was before that. I'd have to go back and maybe it would kind of spark something for me. But I like it. I like that track. Good music. Good match too. What did you guys think of this match?
I thought it was really good. There was a crazy DDT in it that we'll get to in a bit, but
towards the end there.
Yeah, the pace was unbelievable. I'll let Jag get his thoughts on the match here.
Yeah, one thing about the match, I gotta say, compared to nowadays, that's personally, in my opinion, around that time, the Cruiserweight belt actually meant something. There was actually good feuds, and the belt looked sick.
Storylines, the belt definitely did look cool.
The Cruiserweights weren't isolated from the roster, which is kind of a different thing.
Yeah.
They're kind of different. They're isolated from the roster, they have their own show.
I agree. I mean, now that they are on Raw, I mean, they get their match or two on Raw, but I definitely think that putting them on their own show on the network like we have nowadays definitely does isolate them. That's a good point.
Kind of does
that you brought up there, Mike.
Kurt, though.
It's cool, because remember when Goldust came in for the tag match or whatever a couple weeks ago? It's cool to see. Like you could even see, even if they were jobbing out some random cruiserweight, whoever it is, to someone huge like Kane.
Yeah,
it works. Whatever. They get them. They go. All those guys can work. So they don't need to be isolated from the rest of the roster because they're a little bit smaller.
Yeah,
no, I totally agree.
It doesn't make sense to me, the whole isolation thing. Like back then, we used to get a Billy Kidman versus Kane.
Yeah,
Kane
exactly. Yeah, that's
and
what I mean.
it's cool because Rey
Mysterio against Brock Lesnar in some sort of crazy match where
just
you have to
happen.
And you get the babyface heel reaction because the guy's smaller than the huge guy.
Yeah,
and it works easily.
It's 1, 2, 3 kid against Scott Hall.
Yeah,
exactly. Easily,
absolutely.
That's actually a good one.
Like these guys are smarter. Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, let's hope that your boy Ricochet doesn't fall into that category. I really.
Well, he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
That's what I mean.
Hopefully not.
I hope they don't.
He'll have a good run in NXT. He'll get that.
But
strap.
at the same time, like I don't want to go too much into this, but like the Cruiserweight, the 205 needs some star power right now.
Yeah,
in my opinion, like they
need Ray.
Yeah,
I would like to see Ray there. I don't know what he wants a reduced schedule. He's a little bit older.
But
I would love to see Ray there, and he would. And it's Ray. He would love to help out all those guys.
Yeah.
He would. He's that kind of guy.
Who else would you want to learn for? Or
exactly.
learn
from?
Yeah.
It would be great, but Ricochet is the bomb.
Yeah,
he can hold the NXT belt. Like he doesn't need to have to be in.
Like Donovan said, I'm sure we could talk about Ricochet and plenty more about that on a different show. But back to the Cruiserweight match with Jamie Noble and Billy Kidman. I had a little point that I kind of wanted to ask you guys. What was up with Noble's gear? Like the jean shorts kind of.
Hillbilly.
That was the whole
Trailer
gimmick.
Trash.
I noticed that, and I thought, you know what, this is something I'll write and I'll bring up to you guys on the show. And kind of get your opinions there.
Yeah.
That was this whole gimmick with Nydia. They were like some, I don't know. I want to
Trailer
trailer trash. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
it was a
yeah,
gimmick.
yeah,
It was
no, I
safe-
guess that totally
it's
makes
safe
sense
in
now that
02,
you say
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I would say
Whatever.
that's country hits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
we
weird.
did have
Noble
Billy.
played it like he played it good. Like he was out. Like he was. His
Yeah,
promos
his
were all
accent
good.
helps,
Yeah,
for
He did
sure.
the
he was
part.
good.
Yeah.
Nydia was good.
That's
There's something
good.
where I think they get in a storyline somewhere where Noble gets a thing for maybe Tori Wilson, and then they get some, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
He turns on her for a higher quality lady. Nothing against her.
Yeah, we had Billy trying to attack Nydia in the match.
Yeah.
It was really fast paced, back and forth. We had Billy Gunn. Oh my! Now you guys
Your
got
favorite.
you guys got me talking about Billy Gunn, and now I'm getting them confused.
Hey, Billy Gunn's great, by the way.
Yeah, that's another day's worth of talking. But
Famouser.
the famouser, the Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler's the man. Anyway, Billy Kidman with the shooting star press, new champion,
Yeah.
goes into the crowd and kind of celebrates with the crowd. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised. I thought Jamie Noble was taking it.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard because I didn't remember the finish at all.
After I seen it, it sounds stupid, but them giving him new music and stuff, it makes it seem more like it makes sense. Oh, we'll give this guy some new music.
New music, and now he's gonna get the title.
We'll put the strap
Put the
on
strap.
him. Just get the rocket strap, as they say on Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Shooting star press.
Yeah,
Nice finish in MSG.
It was
Small
good.
people. It's nice. Probably looks real nice in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Small arena.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you, Jag or Zach, on that one?
Yeah, no, it was pretty fast. It was also a fast-paced match, I found. Personally, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was good, and a good way to end it.
Yeah, but like I said, I totally didn't see. I totally didn't see. Yeah. I was shocked by that because I remember Jamie Noble's run, and I remember him having a decent run with the title.
Yeah, I remember seeing JB Noble having a good run in ROH, and I just think it's kind of cool how the people that got their turns in ROH around that time with JB Noble, it's cool how he got after he had left and had not. I don't know if he didn't put people over because everyone in ROH can work and have good matches anyways.
Yeah.
But when he left, he had got the job with WWE, and he's like a backstage or a talent guy. He knows what's good, and it's kind of cool that before he did that, he went and felt out all the guys that are mad good in ROH. Cause
I don't remember for sure. He did hold the title there, right, in ROH?
yeah, I'm pretty sure he had. Yeah,
I remember one match with him and Daniel Bryan. That was awesome. I remember that.
Anything
But yeah, shout out to Jamie Noble.
Yeah, no, good match, fast paced.
And Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, yeah, for no reason at all. Just Daniel Bryan, shut it. The only other little note, nothing about the match, nothing at all, but shout out to Billy Kidman just for Tori Wilson. That's an achievement in itself.
I totally forgot about that, yeah.
But that's, it's something we definitely made a note of. But after that, we had Kurt Angle talking into the TV kind of about the match. And, yeah, that was pretty much it.
But did he start off Billy frickin' Kidman? Did he start off with something like that?
Yeah, it was something.
If he can win that,
If he could win that belt,
if he can win the title at MSG, then we can win the what is it?
The tag team
titles?
titles tonight, yes, because of the match later on.
Very Jason Jordan-esque.
Yeah.
That's it.
What was that, Younger?
Hey, tag teams don't high five. We hug.
Yeah,
They
the
gave
hug
they
heard
gave
around the
hug.
world.
It was very.
It was
nice.
different. I mean, it was cool to see Benoit and Kurt Angle interacting. I didn't get a lot of that in the time that I watched wrestling. They were kind of separated. Benoit was always kind of on Raw, and Kurt was on SmackDown in I want to say from 05 and up, and until Kurt went over to ECW.
They ran the show on SmackDown.
Yeah, when they were together, it was definitely good, and I know
whether it was world title or U.S. title, they made that. That was fucking good. Man.
Yeah.
It was sick when they were beating each other
Amazing.
though and shit, eh?
Yeah.
They were cutting to the promos
Oh, yeah.
there. Like
Even what was the one thing when they had the ladder match for the Benoit and
gold
Angle
medals.
had the gold
Yep.
the ladder match for the gold medals, and Benoit was not a guy you see do funny character shit, and he had put the medals down his fucking tights on his nuts and shit, and it's
wow.
kind of funny. You
Yeah.
don't see
Well,
Benoit
yeah,
do that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shit.
No, of
It's
course.
pretty funny.
Yeah, those two have had, honestly, classics. Tons
Yeah.
of classics.
Well,
I can
The
think
other
of.
thing, too,
For
I gotta
sure.
say, they're really
Of course.
good with their submissions.
Yeah, two of
Of
the
course.
two of the best technical
The double
wrestlers.
submission, the crossface ankle lock is
I would
unbelievable.
say even also down to the suplexes.
Yep.
They definitely take pride in going out there.
I
and showing
really
their
enjoyed
machines.
those two. Yeah.
Yep.
When
They
they're
definitely
fighting each other and tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fit as a tag team, that's for sure. They definitely fit. But we'll
I think they had a feud to become a tag team. I don't know if they
yeah,
did, but
they
I think
did. There was a few matches that me and Donovan have kind of watched.
like
some
a
of them.
Sheamus and
There's a few we
Cesaro
told me
type
to watch.
thing. Like
Yes.
two just tough guys going in there and becoming a team because they respect each other's grind. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll go more into them when we talk about that tag team match.
Edge and Ray, though, I liked as a tag team when I was a kid. I thought they were amazing.
For sure.
It's over as shit.
The next one after that was Trish and Victoria. I know Donovan was a big fan of this one.
Yeah,
I mean, even before going into the match, he kind of said, like, you know, get ready. This is a good hardcore match for two women to be having. The promo build for this was great, along with every other match on the show. That was, I think, a standout point from the whole pay-per-view is how good they were at doing promos back then for the build-up with like we talked about earlier, the music. You know what I mean? The rock music. It was all there, and it was good, but...
What's up with the F view, or whatever it was? Remember they had it in the ceiling, and they were showing Victoria?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That's just
weird.
Got caught in the mix of when they were changing WWE from WWF with the get the F out.
Yeah. So
F view, kind of FU.
I think it's female view.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't really know, but that was
creepy.
It was weird. I mean, it was cool to see Victoria doing real character stuff and
Talking to herself in the mirror.
doing something weird.
Smashing the mirror.
That was her, though. That was her character.
That's what I mean. It was cool to see her
Crazy.
Yeah, just
be
the
into
crazy
that
lunatic,
type of a
like,
character stuff to do. What were we going to say, Mike?
The horror movie shrieks in between her vignette there was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, it was great.
It was actually like, it was funny. It worked good. And like I said, she's good. Her finisher looked like it hurt always when I was a kid. Widow's Peak.
Nice.
Knee
Yeah.
buster.
Definitely. I had two things I wanted to bring up about the match. One of them was just the fact that it was extremely back and forth. I noticed that there was kind of at no point was one person really dominating in this match. Did you guys notice that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It was just
Yeah, I agree
back
with
and
that,
forth,
yeah.
back and forth.
It was, there was no real Trish or Victoria kind of dominating. They really went back and forth. And then my only real gripe with the match, and I don't know if it's going to be a fan amongst you guys, but I could do without the woman's weapons. I don't need to see ironing boards and brooms just because we have women fighting. I mean, I know there was a kendo stick and there was a trash can involved in the match as well, but I don't know. It's my personal gripe with that. I understand the time being 2002 and it was different, but I know Donovan's definitely got an opinion on this as well.
Yeah, no, because see, I don't know if I would look at it like that too, because like if you even look back at like the hardcore title and the hardcore matches, I feel like we always got
There were some weird weapons.
ironing boards and some crazy weird shit.
Okay, that
So,
might be me being more of a newer fan and not having the looking back,
the
as we
kitchen
say.
sink was a weapon.
Yeah.
The kitchen
The
sink.
kitchen
That's
sink.
what
An
it was
actual
said.
sink, yeah.
The
I
kitchen
remember that
sink.
too.
I mean, I
Use
can
an actual
understand.
iron too.
Probably.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of stuff. It was hard.
But that was ECW.
Yeah,
though.
more
That wasn't that.
recent,
Sorry,
that was
but yeah,
fun.
like went off topic a little bit, but yet still. But
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like it. Maybe Trish and Victoria didn't need the ironing board.
Yeah, because they emphasized it a little bit too much.
Because they can go either way, but I think it's funny and it's gonna.
I'm
adds
gonna
to the match. It's kinda
defend it a
funny.
bit. Just
Yeah,
because,
I like it. I'm a
That's
fan.
fine. No, that's what I want. I want discussion.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I think it might be me more being a newer fan.
Yeah.
Coming in pre-2002, pre-2004 almost.
Yeah.
Or post, sorry, should I say.
Yeah, speaking of that match, though, did you guys like the ending?
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. It was a bit different and kind of out of nowhere.
Well, wasn't it just a suplex?
Well, it was a fire extinguisher
First,
spot.
I know that, but
And then they kind of rolled in, and Victoria hit her with a quick snap suplex and a quick cover, and that was it. And especially being for the title, it was definitely weird.
Yeah.
Maybe gas though. You never know. It was a hardcore match with the ladies.
And that's true.
First
I mean,
ever-
you are
first ever one.
taking
Like,
weapon bumps the whole time.
groundbreaking in 2018, so they were doing it in 02. So.
In 2002, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, and Donovan mentioned they could have got, bring it home.
I
They
feel
could have
like
got the old bring it home.
I feel like something like that may have happened. Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. I think Mike it brings up a good point in the sense that they were taking weapon bumps
Yeah.
the whole match.
Yeah.
And they had
So-
some time too. Like they had a lot of time.
Yeah, they did get a good amount of time.
Yeah, it's not like
You
it
never
was
know.
short. It was good, but other than the weird finish, it was overall it was pretty good. Any standout stuff from that?
What did you
before we
guys?
move on?
Yeah, I mean, what did you guys think of the match overall? I thought there was some really good bumps. I think Victoria got busted open. Even her nose was bleeding.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was from the trash can lid.
Yeah, they were doing some like real hardcore stuff. I
Yeah.
personally really enjoyed this match.
Which you normally don't really see.
Victoria's always good, but Trish is the bomb since we're always ripping Toronto.
Rooting for the Canadians.
Yeah, we are a
Rapping
Canadian
all day.
pro wrestling podcast, so we're definitely going to be a little biased towards Trish.
Right
But
down the street.
I don't know. I'm a Victoria fan though.
I
Yeah.
like them both, okay?
I was stratified with that match.
Yeah.
definitely both Hall of Famers if Trish isn't already.
Yeah,
Trish is. I believe Victoria is not.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
But the title changed hands too, right?
Yeah, that was the thing. It was weird that the title would change on such a little spot there at the end, but like we said, there was a lot of weapon bumps, so it kind of felt justified.
Yeah.
Their thing though, it was a good match.
Yeah, good match overall.
But yeah, so after that,
especially for ladies in O2, that's pretty good.
That's true. Like that's definitely true. We had Eric Bischoff after that backstage with Coach, and talking with Big Show. Just kind of talking really. Big Show was kind of talking some smack. It wasn't anything really to get too much into here.
Mm-hmm.
But any thoughts on Eric Bischoff? I mean, before we go into the main event later with the chamber match, but did you guys like Eric Bischoff back then when he came back and made this match and kind of was running Raw? Like, was it something you guys were a fan of?
Oh yeah, totally. I love Eric Bischoff. I really enjoyed him in the GM role. What about you, Jack?
I there was love-hate moment, but overall he was very personally I think one of the best Raw managers they had.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree. He definitely is up there. Anything to say there, Zach or Mike?
No, I think he's great. I think he's really good, to be honest. I like how he does like the little promos and stuff too. Like he does a really good job at it. I'm sorry, but but the one with Big Show was pretty cool. Isn't that when Heyman came out though?
Yeah, well, it wasn't that Heyman came out. They kind of cut to Heyman.
Yeah,
with Brock
saying like the Big Show saying you're going to regret trading me and all this other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then they cut over. He was saying that to Bischoff, and then they cut over to Heyman and Brock in a different part of backstage. And I know I pointed out right away that I noticed Heyman was acting different than I'm used to seeing him, being a post 2010 era of Brock Lesnar.
Even getting Brock to talk too.
Yeah, Brock talking was different.
To talk and wrestle matches, man.
Yeah, more than suplex it. Mike, bring up a whole different point altogether there.
Man, this guy had a 60-minute Iron Man match on SmackDown.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's an amazing
To bring up a point about Eric Bischoff, I had no clue about WCW when I was a kid. I was 12 years old watching Monday Night Raw. I didn't know who this guy was. The thing with him and Vince Huggy. I had no clue.
Okay.
I just knew Eric Bischoff as a piece of shit GM, which is great. Obviously, I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah, as a heel that you didn't like.
I hated him when I was a kid. Now I'm like, he did a great job.
Yeah.
But I do remember him getting in some karate gear and fighting.
Yeah,
I don't know. He would get in the gi. He would get in the gi and have. I don't know who. I can't. Flair or McMahon or something. Maybe something.
Yeah, he
Who
did.
Does he have a match?
McMahon,
Yeah. I don't know who he had a match.
But
against.
he also had another match too. I can't remember who it was.
Is it Flair or no? Because they had heat, man. They had some
He had a
serious
feud with
heat.
Austin. I don't know if they ever got too physical because Austin wasn't wrestling at the point.
No, because at that time it was wrestling, no physical touch.
Yeah.
If he physically provoked me, then Austin's allowed.
Well, Austin gonna get you one time because he pushed him or something or gave him a high. No, he gave someone that gave him a high five. Austin gave him a high five or shook his hand.
Yeah.
And then that was the physically provoking when he shook the hand a high five.
Nice.
But Bischoff, as a kid, you look at him as he's a boss.
I kind of think it's the same way I looked at Triple H when I was a kid, and he's just the guy you didn't.
Yeah, but Triple H would kick your ass though. Bischoff, you thought you could kick his ass, and then you would get in the karate gi, and you're like, oh, maybe I can kick this guy's ass. I don't know if I can kick his ass, and he's a piece of shit too.
Yeah, I think he's got a legit.
And he's actually tough. He's actually tough, which is the thing.
He's an actual black belt.
So you look back on it, like as a kid, I was like, screw Eric Bischoff, and then now I know all this back. You watch the DVDs and all that, but he's cool.
Yeah.
Did his thing. He did it good.
No, for sure.
Major heat, which is awesome.
Nice heel boss.
Yeah, always.
Back to one of your points there, Nick. Like you said, Heyman was just out of character, basically.
Yeah, it was really different.
He wasn't like you said after 2010.
With
the
Brock,
beast.
The beast, the confidence, not the swagger, but just the confidence that he exudes towards Brock and his ability to destroy anything in his path. It was different for me to see. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit more in a couple minutes here when we go into the finish of the match. But I hadn't mentioned, again, great promo videos. Yeah. The build-up that they showed us for this was awesome. Just the music and the switching of different shows, and it was just good. Anything towards the build-up you guys wanted to mention? Or
no, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'll let you guys speak on it a little more. I kind of stepped away for a second. For sure. I had a note that the Big Show got some great pyro.
Again, we talked about it before. Give us more pyro.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel like more of a show. It makes it feel more significant.
Exactly.
It just makes it better.
We watched New Japan, the Wrestle Kingdom, and they had tons of pyro for us.
Yeah,
tons of
absolutely. And I'm expecting we get some at
If
Mania.
that's your natural competitor, you got to compete, and I think you got to drop.
For sure. Is that something they do at non-Tokyo Dome shows?
Well, no, they're in the little small hall, but...
You know what I mean? Because I
Wrestle
think we get it
Kingdom
at
show,
Mania
but,
too,
yeah.
but not anywhere else. They've completely
Well, I
mixed
think
it.
of how nowadays the Manias are like the big spectacle. They must have that. They must have that in a stadium outdoor nowadays, because there's no way that they're gonna come up to Toronto and go to the ACC and open up that dome.
Or you Skydome, you mean
in April?
Rogers Center.
It's iffy. You know.
No, absolutely.
No way, yeah.
And I mean, we have Mania this year coming up. That's going to be at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. It's an indoor stadium, where Daniel Bryan won the championships in 2014.
Yeah, but I think that doesn't that dome also open?
No, that one's closed.
No, that one's a full dome.
Oh, it's actually
that one's indoor. But I totally know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's different and there's more space and it's a money thing too. And I mean, realistically,
it's this whole beast. You have to bid now.
Yeah.
To get
How much
that.
do fireworks cost?
a lot. Man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd be
Like,
okay
seriously.
even if they did it. Just give us pyro at the big shows, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble, and Mania. I'm okay with that.
Those four?
I don't need the celebration pyros. Like at
Well,
the
they
end,
save
at
it
the
all
end,
for the
at the
big
end of the
dog at
show.
the
I
end of
don't.
Mania.
I don't need
Yeah.
the Rumble pyro with
The
like
whole thing.
mad fireworks. I need Lesnar jumping up on the ring having pyro because
Yes.
it looks so soft without it.
Yeah.
Styles coming out with his music with the
That's another good point.
Styles and Kane have the pyro sound in their music.
Yeah, it's weird with Kane with no
Which
pyro.
I don't know. I don't want to
Yeah,
tell
it's
you where to
weird when
spend your
Kane
money,
just
but
opens
like,
up
come
the
on,
arms
yeah,
and then
it's-
just nothing. And nothing.
That's a great
it just
point.
kind
You know
of
what? That's something
it
I
makes
don't
it
even
weaker
know if I noticed.
because Styles
in
and
the
Kane are
music.
two huge superstars. They deserve some pyro. Give them some pyro, man. Come on.
Yeah.
For sure. Other thing I had with the match here, other than the pyro, was Big Show had some weird gear. I noticed it was kind of like Undertaker-esque, biker, kind of very similar to what Undertaker was wearing at the time.
Yeah.
It was different. Was there a character behind this, or was
I
it just
I just think it was just like, I don't know,
Just gotta switch the gear
fat
up.
Big Show,
Yeah, I
big
think he was
show,
a little,
big
little
boy.
bigger at the time.
Yeah, it was just the jeans. It really threw me off. I'd never seen rocking.
It looked good on him.
Yeah,
good on
it
him.
definitely
suited
suits him at
Suited
his size that he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have some smaller legs. Gotta cover them up.
That's true too. You never know. But it was just a talking point. Just wanted to bring that up.
Love Big Show.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the man.
Respect to Big Show, especially for the shape that he's been able to
Yeah.
get himself in
yeah,
in the
sure.
last year, two.
He's the man. He's been around
Except
for
the-
years.
Except
He's
the
man.
one thing he's I've noticed how many years of watching the Big Show is
The
how many times
changes.
he's changed.
Yeah, I think he would bring
I
that
think
up
a lot
to
of
you
people
if
notice
you were to talk
that
to him about
He
it.
changes very often.
Yeah.
I feel like it's at the point where he's almost over it, and he just kind of
Probably the most in history.
I think, yeah, pretty
He can't
much.
actually be a bad guy though. He's Big Show.
yeah.
He's like the
that's
nicest,
true. Not
coolest
anymore.
guy.
Back in the day, for sure, but
Yeah.
now, no.
Now
You're not
he's
going to
just
get
cool-
genuine
cool
heel. He
Big
is
Show.
Big Show.
Yeah, well, I don't know. See, I mean, I want to say 2013 or 2014, he had a great heel run.
Yeah?
He won the world title, and he was doing some really good stuff. Like, we'll get to that at another
Yeah, in
date
another
the
look back
podcast,
for
but
sure.
And honestly, a match with him and Sheamus, I want to say they stole the show at a Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. I'm not even kidding you guys. Amazing match.
That's a tough one
Awesome.
to think about.
It's
Sheamus and Big Show
great.
stealing
At where?
the show.
Great. Hell in a Cell. I want to say, I know it was the one where Punk and Ryback main evented, and that match was not comparable.
Yeah.
Like, they literally
And
stole
you're a
the show.
Ryback and a Punk fan,
I love
so
both
that says
guys.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's okay. Good
Random
point.
side note.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I had a couple things here. There was a really bad backdrop from Lesnar that looked like he shouldn't. To me, in my opinion, if you're gonna try a move like that, don't even bother, because if it looks that bad. But then he came back and with a really good over belly to belly suplex on Big Show that kind of
That was crazy. Got some air there too.
yeah, that kind of took me out of my seat. So I
Yeah.
felt bad for even writing the prior backdrop comment, but I figured I'd bring them both up to kind of even each other out. But we had a ref bump with a steel chair. And then
Basically,
we had Brock hitting.
basically
hitting
there was
an
a ref
F5.
bump, and then there was a steel chair put in there.
Yeah. And then Brock hit the F5 on Big Show, and the ref went down to count, and Heyman
yanked
yanks the ref out.
Yeah, no, sorry, that was the new ref that came in.
Oh yes, the new ref had came in because the ref had been bumped already, and then
Heyman pulled him
Heyman
out,
yanked him out.
and then Lesnar realized
kind of what was happening. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes back to what I said at the beginning about Heyman acting so different. I think this is probably why.
Yeah.
They were trying to hint, nudge the crowd into why Heyman was, not acting so confident in Brock and his ability to beat Big Show. But I thought the match was okay. It felt quick. I don't know if it actually was quick.
Yeah,
I
had
really have a
same
time
feeling too.
down, but it was okay.
It's probably quick.
I think they went about 10, 12 minutes.
If that. It didn't feel long at all. The one thing that was cool after, they had Big Show's music still playing to the point where Big Show and Heyman had left the building in a limo, and Big Show's music was still playing and they were gone. So that was kind of cool. It's not a major point, but just something to bring up.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to say on this match before we move on to the next match?
Nothing from me, really.
I'm good. I think it was good overall. It was a nice match.
Cool.
I'd have to say, like, young Brock and Brock nowadays is still the same person. They can lift a lot of damn weight.
Yeah, aside from the amount of moves that they'll be willing to do.
But yeah, like, not many people could suplex the Big Show.
Yeah.
Yet alone lift the Big Show.
Not like that, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that.
Like,
anything for you, Mike? No?
Good match. Lesnar's cool. I liked him back then. Hell in the Cell with Undertaker's is amazing. So, and I like Big Show too.
Was that previously to Survivor Series?
I think it was maybe 03. I have no.
Yeah, I think it was.
I was young when I watched all of it, but I remember him hanging off the cage and kicking Undertaker, which is.
I want to say it was before this.
I would say before Survivor Series because that's when Lesnar won the title.
Yeah.
And then
he won it early, real quick.
Yeah. But the other thing too is, didn't they say? Didn't the announcers basically say this is the first time Brock's been pinned? He's never been pinned or submitted before.
Yes, that's a great point. I'm super happy that you brought that up because the announcers did say that. They said that Brock Lesnar's never been pinned or submitted.
Wow.
And I thought it was really weird that they would make his first loss come in, something like Heyman turning. I guess that's a big moment to have Heyman, but. Yeah. If something like that were to happen with Asuka now, I can tell you right now, I'd be very not impressed. I want a clean win when you're beating somebody with a streak or a non, getting pinned streak. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
Well, at the same time,
no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It shades of the taser spot in WCW. Like that's not.
But at the same time, don't you think it kind of speaks like to the volume of like. I don't know, the heel, you know what I mean? Because they had to cheat to beat this person.
Yeah. That's true.
Right? So I mean that's how I would look at it. Like if Asuka was to take a loss by someone beating her dirty, you kind of get it because it's like you can't really beat her.
Like who's going to do that though?
I don't see. I get your point.
I don't think that's going to happen.
But not with Asuka.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
Specifically,
there's no one to pull that kind of trigger.
That's interesting with Brock. I really didn't know that.
It was something that the commentators brought up, and I'm super, super happy that Jag brought it up as well, because I was about to move on to the next match. But that's definitely a good point. That being said, the next match was a triple threat tag team match. Kurt and Benoit versus the Los Guerreros with Edge and Rey. I know a team that Mike mentioned earlier he was definitely a fan of when he was younger. First thing I had written down, again, the same point I think I'm going to make with almost every match of the show. Amazing promo videos.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Miss Ray's music, the music that he had going on.
Yeah, Ray's entrance music back then was fantastic as well. They showed a 2 out of 3 falls match on SmackDown in the promo that I thought, I don't know, we're going to have to make, I don't know if we're going to do a look back show for that episode, but I want to look back at that episode even if it's on my own time. And watch that match. I don't know if that's something you guys caught back then.
Is that the Ray and Edge and Benoit and Kurt?
Yeah. 2 out of 3 falls on.
I don't remember like how I should remember it, but it was.
Yeah, just from the promo video that we saw, it looked fantastic. It looked like a really good match.
It looked wild.
That was how Edge and Ray got the titles. Was in that match, and it was really good. It looked really good, should I say?
Yeah.
Edge has amazing title wins in tag teams.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio, Hulk Hogan. Christian.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are some good tag partners, that's for sure.
Fucking
how many guys can say they've tagged and won the titles with Hulk Hogan? Yeah.
Are you kidding me, dude?
That's pretty good.
That's amazing.
Speaking of tag belts, we were kind of talking when the show was on that we like these belts. Do you guys prefer these SmackDown titles at this time over any other titles, or where would they kind of rank in your
I've always enjoyed the belts, to be honest.
Those ones there that we've
I've
seen
always
here?
enjoyed that.
Where-
Like the cruiserweight was my favorite one. I think
Yeah,
I talked
I
about
mean
that a few weeks
specifically
ago.
the tag belts in this match. How do you kind of rank them just by the aesthetically to kind of the belts that we have now? And
if we're gonna go like out of 10,
just
I'd give
tag belts.
Just tag belts. I give it a 10. I'd give it like a 9 or a 10, man. Okay. I don't like these colors and all this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
like,
of the current belts. I mean, I like the SmackDown ones a little more than the Raw, I guess.
I don't know.
With
like,
the blue.
Yeah.
Back then, they're more defined. These ones, they just look so.
More
they
like
look
legit.
toys.
Yeah, like toys.
Yeah, literally like toys. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't even know how to put that either. But yeah, they look like toys.
Like,
too.
don't get me wrong. I like the big championships, like the Universal.
So do I. I love the one that
But
AJ has right now. The
I
WWE.
mainly like the one on SmackDown there, the world title there, the SmackDown.
AJ's.
AJ's title.
Yeah, that's probably my
I like
favorite
that.
belt in
Yeah,
WWE.
WWE Championship. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, WWE Championship. I like that, but overall, the classic look always.
You like
better.
these belts?
Yeah, these
The
belts
But
are
that's why I like the Intercontinental and the US. They look really good. Really
Yeah,
good.
more classic for sure.
Plus, it stands out.
Anything for you, Mike?
I'm not a big fan of the colored leather. Colored leather.
Yeah, fair. That's
But
that we get nowadays, right?
yeah, but I do like how the SmackDown Championships would have like, I don't know if it was like the world on the gold that was like blue.
A hint of blue, yeah. Not,
Yeah.
not
And
too
the
much.
Raw would have like the world, or like the same thing that was
In red.
blue would be red.
in a little bit, but with a different
A little
looking
bit different,
belt
but
as
like
well. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like the, I don't know if it's black or whatever. It looks more prestigious or more like normal.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm just used to that, but I like it.
for sure, for sure.
But PWG has a green belt, so.
Absolutely, yeah. That's good. So there was one thing it was just a random note, but you were talking about Rob Zombie's music here for Edge's entrance.
Yeah.
I thought that was different. I never knew that
You never.
Edge had a Rob Zombie theme. It's definitely something different.
Yeah, well, it was great. I mean, I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan, so maybe I
What's
might
that,
be a
the
little biased.
They're
But
never gonna stop me.
yeah, I love that theme with Edge. I thought it fit really well with his character at the time. too.
Totally, yeah. No, it was something I hadn't seen before, so it was, I don't know, it was different.
I brought up that point. I miss actual songs for people's themes.
Yeah, lyrics.
Lyrics,
It's
yeah.
something we all kind of miss, I think. Now
Yeah, that's
we get a lot of
the.
instrumental stuff.
Very
It works
few
for some people, but
Very few people right now have actual.
yeah, like I can
lyrics.
think of two, and they're both women off the top of my head that are probably two of my favorite songs, and that's Sasha and Bailey, and they both have lyrics.
Yeah.
Alistair Black in NXT's got an actual hardcore band.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a
that
great
song's
theme.
sick.
And
Chris Jericho.
I think it's called Incendiary or something. The band is Incendiary. They're good.
Incendiary Diary, yeah.
Incendiary or something. They're pretty good. Good song.
Yeah, and even as much as I'm not a fan, Baron Corbin's music on SmackDown, his music's fantastic as well.
My
For
favorite theme-
fitting his
I love
character.
it.
My
He's-
favorite theme in all of WWE is The Club. I like that song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I totally, yeah, I know what you mean.
You know it? It's a good
It's-
song.
yeah.
Anderson and
It's
Gallows.
a pretty good song.
Absolutely. Other than that, we'll go right into it. The match was one of those matches where you have two guys in the ring, and then there's kind of one guy from each tag team on the corner, and then you also have another tag team who's not tagged in. I kind of noted that this wasn't my favorite type of match.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer, if you're going to do a triple threat tag team, put three guys in the ring and then put three guys on the ropes and kind of have a triple threat with the ability to tag rather than the ability to tag anyone. But I'll open this up to you guys. Give me your thoughts kind of on if you like that system.
I don't know. I personally hate that system. Like I agree with you there, because you have one full tag team just resting on the outside. You're right. You should be all three. If it's a triple threat or a fatal four-way, it should be either 3 or 4 competitors in that ring, not 2, and you can tag whoever you want. You have to tag your partner only.
Yeah, especially that, because like I know it's like behind the scenes and like all that stuff. Because then we're gonna be like, okay, go, like Kurt was in the ring. It's like, okay, go tag Chavo there. It's like, well, if that happened in real life, you're not gonna tag the other. You know what I mean? That other team that's not in there. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Like, you're gonna go tag your own partner.
It's kind of cool,
So-
and by accident, the heel
You can
will
do
tag.
it that way, yeah. Like
to
Eddie, I
tags in
think,
and,
did that to
like,
Kurt.
I
That's
don't
okay.
like
Yeah,
that.
that's cool too.
It
Yeah,
works.
yeah,
I guess
yeah.
there's
It
a way to
works in
tell a
that
story
sense,
that
yeah.
way. Donovan or Mike, I know you guys were definitely kind of watching, as well as Jag, but I know you guys were watching at this time, and it was definitely more common of a match, even in the 4-way tags that they did as well. You
Yeah.
guys like this concept?
So I wanted to speak on it, but I like it. I don't mind it. But the thing is, see, in a triple threat sense, I don't like it as much. I would have preferred if it was a fatal 4-way, like with 4 teams and then having that style. I prefer that. With 3, I felt like it was a little off balance, honestly. But I'm a fan of that style.
Yeah.
Those 3 teams, there's like no real heel team.
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
To have 3 people in the ring would be like so hard.
Like, weren't Chavo and Eddie?
I think Chavo, they might have been heels,
but they're heels, but like they're so funny, like it's hard to
hard to boo them.
And Benoit and Kurt gets the "you suck," but Benoit and Kurt are so good that they would get like the standing ovation type good stuff.
Yeah,
like Edge and Ray are over as fuck, so they can work face all day. But like those 2 teams, like maybe you've had like the Bashams on the other corner, they could work heel all day. And then you have all 4 of them in there, but. I don't know. I like the 2, like all those guys.
Like the concept as well. I think it's another thing.
I like the one-on-one because those 3 tag teams, all those guys can go.
Absolutely, yeah.
It doesn't matter, so it's good to have them all go in there and get their.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that if there was a 4th team in there, it would have been better. Like I understand. I'm going with these 2, their concept.
You need someone to get some heat there.
Yeah,
all those teams are pretty good.
Yeah. Overall.
Good. No, that's. I just wanted to get kind of your guys' perspective again.
Great match though. Eddie Guerrero, best.
Oh yeah, being a fan, kind of newer. They don't do a lot of these types of matches anymore, so it was different. To see. I had some notes written down with Kurt. He really slowed the match a little bit, almost to a halting pace at the middle before they really picked it up and got going really fast with a headlock. It felt almost Monday Night Raw-esque commercial break time, but. Nothing major. It was just, I think it was more to settle the crowd down before they brought them back up.
Yeah.
As you do in wrestling.
Also slow down like the Edge and Ray, Los Guerreros type style.
Exactly,
technical.
Yeah. You got to have
they'll
your
throw you on the mat for 10 minutes
flows.
Before you can get a tag. And then by the time you get a tag, you're worn out. You can't, they'll wear you out. They're specialists.
Yeah.
They could win a singles match. They don't need to be in a tag team. So you know what I mean? They were serious like that. They were good. Yeah,
no, for sure, man. The first team getting eliminated, because this was an elimination match, was Benoit and Kurt, and they were kind of arguing with each other a little bit, and they got eliminated. I think it was Edge and Ray that eliminated them. I'm not 100% sure.
I believe so.
I kind of missed that one elimination, but... Nice
apron Hurricane Rana by Ray.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was on, but it was sweet.
Yeah, the match was fast-paced the whole time. It was a lot of... I mean, I don't know if it quite had the wow factor of the opener with the table match, but it was up there. And I think me and you mentioned that this was a match we had seen on its own prior on an Eddie Guerrero DVD.
Yes, yep.
I think it was on the Eddie Guerrero DVD that we had seen it prior, but it was good. I mean, Edge and Ray are kind of a crazy combination for a tag team, but I know Mike mentioned he liked it, and I agree. I would have liked to see them together in real time. It would have definitely been cool for sure. But we had Eddie and Chavo winning, and this was for the belts too. So like we said before, it was a big deal.
Los Guerreros had a good run. They're a great tag team.
Yeah, was this the first time they had won the belts together? I feel like they had probably done that before, no? Or this might have been the first time.
I am not 100% sure on that. I feel like maybe if they were the heel team in this one, that maybe this was the beginning of them kind of getting
their feet
their big run, because I remember afterwards the change in the Titantron with the
even as heels though they had like the best vignettes backstage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this title run was kind of them getting
they had some getting the funniest ever. Like there's the bomb.
Yeah, I can remember
Eddie,
some of them were really
the character
good.
game on Eddie is crazy.
Yeah, so this might have been the first time
that they kind of okay. Well, that's
because I noticed it was Eddie's music that I feel
Latino
like,
heat. It wasn't like Chavo
and then we didn't get the little Titantron with the 2 bobblehead kind of things. I know you guys probably remember that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Holy shit! Wow,
Because they brought in the Viva La Raza.
Yes.
They brought in that's a bomb tune. That's a great tune.
Yeah. So this was definitely at the beginning of their run. I mean, good to see. Eddie's great. I mean, me and Mike were huge fans back in the day, and I think we all like Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, a lot. So there's enough said there. Next segment was Chris Nowinski, guys. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Chris Nowinski.
I wasn't really aware of this guy. I didn't really know who he was. I know you guys mentioned something. I don't want to get into it much, but about him doing something with CTE or concussion awareness and that kind of stuff nowadays. But he was kind of coming out in a Harvard gimmick, and it was weird. I thought it was different.
Letterman jacket.
Yeah, the Letterman jacket and all that. We had Matt Hardy come out and kind of interrupt in the V1 that we talked about prior.
Version 1.
Yeah, version 1. Because we know he had split with a Jeff prior to that.
Two heels working against each other.
Yeah, I kind of said that right away when we were watching it. I think that there was two heels looking right at each other. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. But then my boy.
Came through. I'll let you guys kind of take the reins here because I don't know a lot about this guy, and you can even kind of let the listeners know who.
Can we get some sirens on here?
Yeah, can we get a Scott Steiner in the background?
But what did you guys think about this?
Himself. Holla if you hear me. That's his thing. Yeah, no, it was great. I thought it picked it up because, like you said, we had. I was kind of waiting to see who was going to come out because we had the two heels out there, and then Scott Steiner's music hit, and man, the crowd! What about the reaction that this guy got in Madison Square Garden?
I have written down here and highlighted over AF.
Yeah,
as fuck.
Like we said about the cage matches with the Elimination Chamber being an MSG. I mean, he probably has some nice tag matches in the early '90s, and
with
his
MSG,
brother. Like,
yeah, that's a great point.
One
man.
of the best tag teams ever, man.
Yeah,
and they're serious.
Technical. They were rough. They were rough.
They were good.
They would hurt you if they didn't like you.
Yeah, and like I said, like when I was a kid watching this, you see Scott Steiner chainmail with the. It's kind of funny now. You look at it. But like when you're a kid, it
definitely fit the gimmick. It works.
And then when he had Stacy Keibler with him, I was a fan.
Definitely, yeah. I think we were all fans of Stacy Keibler from the ages 12 to 14.
Yep.
And now, but especially then.
But yeah,
we had a big time no sell. I had that written down.
A couple punches from Hardy.
A big time. I don't know if I've ever seen a no sell so hard in WWE, but as Mike mentioned, he's a big star, and it's just a punch in a segment mid pay-per-view, so it's not like it's a major point to talk about. But good segment. Anything else you guys want to say? Zach, were you a fan of Papa Pump, or were you not familiar too much with him?
Not really, but obviously, like I'm reminded, like I know
seen
a couple things back in the day from him and stuff, but yeah, I just remember he always came up with that bicep, always flexing all the time. So all the time, the size of the golf ball. Orbs. Yeah, it's insane with that guy. But
definitely,
I think I don't know. He might have got one of the best reactions of the night. Honestly.
Well, if I had to give the segment one word, I would say like over or pop or something like that, because he definitely worked the crowd, and I don't know. It seemed like he must have been coming back from something. I don't know. I know we didn't.
Well, I think that's why they did the little promo thing there in the ring. It's just like, okay, we'll go get that Nowinski guy.
Yeah, he might have had a
little. It wasn't
WCW for a bit.
No,
how close is this to the
you got to remember both Matt and Nowinski. They were both basically shit talking New York. Basically.
Yeah, that's true. So he was coming out for the babyface pop.
Stupid or you're idiots.
Yeah. The old babyface pop, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go right into the main event. First, I just wanted to let everybody know, check us out on Twitter at PW LookBack and Instagram at PW LookBack. YouTube, subscribe to Pro Wrestling LookBack. Yeah, we're just looking for anything, followers, opinions, anything you can say. Let us know. We're just trying to talk pro wrestling in a positive sense and build a community. That's kind of the main part, and just talk pro wrestling. But we'll go right into the main event. I had one note actually here before we dive right into the main event. We got a little promo. It was really weird. I know we're definitely probably going to spend at least a couple minutes on this, but with Randy Orton.
Oh my God.
What was that? Yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely pre...
And the sling too and everything?
He had the sling on. He definitely had his old gear and some different hair that I've definitely never seen him use before.
That's young Randy. That's the young Randy look.
Right before Evolution, I want to say.
Pre-Evolution.
2002. Yeah. This was definitely pre-Evolution.
Because I believe Evolution's formed like very soon after.
Shortly after, because we did get Ric Flair with Triple H later in the night.
I think it was when Batista got traded to...
Batista didn't have a long time with the Reverend.
Yeah, no. That was a quick thing.
I think he got traded over, and then, basically, that's when, it became...
Yeah, definitely not a promo I've seen before. From Randy Orton. With
send your email and get well soon cards to... I don't know what the email was.
Yeah.
Randy Orton something.
Randy Orton at WWE.com.
Yeah. Weird is all I have to say.
I got a good laugh out of it, though.
Definitely worth a laugh, and it's fun to talk about like we're doing here, but,
Definitely different.
Yeah, especially knowing now. This is, I think, going to be one of my favorite things about what we do at the Pro Wrestling Look Back is looking back at stuff like this and seeing where the superstar is now today and the journey that they've kind of went on from there, because watching that promo, I could have said that this guy could have been gone in a few years. It's not like it was a standout anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't watch back then either, so I didn't have the context of knowing all of Randy's prior work to this, but
2 years world champion.
Down the road, absolutely, right? I it's just cool to look back that way. But the main event, the kind of the main reason we're here tonight, to review the first ever Elimination Chamber match. It was a concept created by Eric Bischoff, and he made sure that tonight, I mean, we got him in the ring. I know Donovan thought it was kind of more warranted than myself.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about Eric Bischoff in the ring there a little bit. Just your opinions on that before we kind of tell everybody who's in the match and what we think of it.
Well, yeah, like I thought it made perfect sense because this Elimination Chamber, I remember watching it in real time, what was going on. Like when he announced it on Raw, like we didn't know what to expect or what. He didn't really tell us the rules, or we just knew the superstars that were going to be in it. And so for him to come out and like explain, break it down, I liked
what
it.
It is, what went into it, because you were just getting the promos and what it's made out of beforehand. You were just made out of 30 tons of steel.
Looked awesome.
It looked,
but we didn't know what.
Especially in the build-up for it
was.
too, what it looked like and everything as well.
But
like
there was no one knew what the rules were. We just thought it was just a cage. Everybody's in it.
For sure.
That was it.
Yeah,
It was good that he broke it down.
Good for him to go out there and
beat it with
bang the nightstick around a little bit.
Yeah, he was kind of
he was
smacking the chain and smacking the ground. Any other thoughts on just Bischoff and the idea of the chamber before we kind of go into it?
Very great,
innovative,
great.
Awesome. Yeah, whoever made that is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's one of the best ideas.
I don't know if Bischoff actually made it or if it's just written, but that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cool. I like it every time.
Yeah,
it's cool watching that with that one too, because it's not all padded up it's all padded up now and stuff.
Yeah,
so
the first
like that was
version
crazy.
we got of that last
because
year.
you know it would hurt when you drop.
Oh yeah, and I've heard Taz talk about it on his own show, saying how stiff that chamber actually is, and he says no joke. You know what I mean? Like it's probably the stiffest, one of the stiffest bumps you'll take in WWE is on the side of that chamber there.
Wow.
On the metal.
Yeah.
But the match was. It was a good match. I mean, it was the first chamber match, so it was kind of bound to be good. And the participants we had in there were Rob Van Dam, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Booker T, Kane, and Y2J, Chris Jericho. Before the match, we had Triple H doing a promo with Ric Flair backstage. To me, it was a typical Triple H promo. There was kind of a comment that I hadn't known before. I'm sure you guys will be able to talk on this point, but that damn good. I didn't know.
Oh yeah,
that was a Triple H thing.
It was a T-shirt.
It was a T-shirt too. So that was definitely his little slogan for a while. How long did he run with that, and did it work? Did you like that kind of?
Yeah, I liked it. I remember it being around for a while actually.
Really? Yeah. That's something that totally went over my head. I'd never seen that before. But yeah. I think Mike had something he wanted to mention with that promo as well. I'll let him kind of take the floor there. It was a good point he brought up to us while we were watching the show.
I mean, I do remember Triple H being that damn good, and anything works with Triple H pretty much.
Yeah.
And I hated him as a little kid, so he did his job.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
But when he was running the promo before the match, Coachman was interviewing him, and Coachman was almost scared of him. Like, not scared of him, but like...
Nervous.
He looked nervous, or he was huddled up, kind of holding the microphone to his face, and that's a lot of stuff you don't see in WWE. You'll see these ladies backstage. No disrespect to the ladies. Nice ladies, but they're interviewing Kevin Owens. Renee does a great job. She gets scared of them. But you got to be scared of these guys. They're wrestlers, and you're just an interviewer. Michael Cole used to have a T-shirt on his face when The Rock would talk to him. And now he's arguing with Booker on the commentary. You know what I mean? You got to have respect for these guys and put them over as wrestlers while you're just a guy with the mic.
For sure.
As I'm just a guy with the mic.
Yeah, it's a great point you brought up, honestly. It's so true. I agree with that totally.
For sure. You guys, anybody else's points on that? I think Mike brings up, like Donovan said, it's a great point.
Was it just the questions like you're asking? Or
no, it's more just the character. Like, you're just asking a question. This guy's going to go have a match. He's ready to get in a fight.
Yeah.
Ready to get in a fight, and you're just going to ask him a question and expect him to be nice to you. Like, they were scared of them back in the day. The Rock would throw a shirt over them trying to sell T-shirts and say, "Don't you dare move your head while I'm talking to you." and they'd follow his orders because it was The Rock.
Yeah.
Now they just go walk up to them. Hey, Kevin Owens, how are you? And he's trying to scream in the microphone, and they're like not even scared of him. This guy's screaming in the microphone. You got to be scared of the guy.
There's no emotion.
He's a wrestler, he's a champion. Come on now.
There's no emotion from the interviewer.
Yeah,
basically.
they're just there to report the scenes. Like
it's
CNN.
a little too much Sportsnet.
It's not CNN and Sportsnet. It's wrestling.
Yeah.
You have to have a character too as a commentator always. That's
For sure.
why Lawler and JR were always good because they played that off.
Yeah.
Kane's Pyro would go off, Lawler would get scared. Oh, what was that?
Hellfire and brimstone!
Yeah, even like
great.
Gene Okerlund and shit.
Yeah.
Remember Gene and
They
stuff?
all
Yeah.
play-
Absolutely. They played to the characters that they were
And
interviewing.
you got to
For
have that because it adds.
Absolutely. Those are great points. I had a point about the entrances before we dive into the match. Jericho with the live music. What do you guys think of this? Was it cool? Was it not cool? Do you
I don't
kind of talk about this live music here, and then give me your thoughts on live music in general?
Was it Jericho's actual song?
I
don't think it was.
so.
Was it Break the Walls
It
Down?
didn't sound like it. If it was, then
Yeah, it sounded different to me.
It was definitely.
I'm getting the vibe you guys weren't a fan.
Well, you could hear it when the countdown's on. It's like doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden like that song hit, and I was like,
That's not his
"That's
song.
not Jericho."
That's not Jericho's.
And I'm like, "You just disrespected Jericho."
You don't
Yeah.
hear break the walls
Nor did he
down.
come out with like doing like the backwards arm
Yeah,
shake.
it was a bit of a
Jericho.
different Jericho. I don't know if that had anything to do with the fact that it was a chamber match, but I definitely agree with you there.
Maybe just trying something new. I wasn't a fan of the
Tag
music,
team
though.
champion.
Yeah,
Jericho.
what off topic
Tag
a
champ
tiny
Jericho,
bit, but what
actually.
about music in general? Like, do you guys like when I know we talked a bit about it before with Triple H doing the live stuff, but is it something you're a fan of?
I think it could only certain wrestlers it works with.
Yeah.
Other wrestlers it does not.
And the
work.
performance has to be good too. I think I remember seeing a Randy Orton match from a WrestleMania
30.
30. Was it 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, WrestleMania 30 when he was the double champ there, and you could barely hear the guy singing his music. Not that his music's great anyway, in my opinion, but
I like the Bray Wyatt one. That one was pretty
really good.
that
Yeah.
one was really good. I'll give you that. Good stuff.
CM Punk had a great one.
Yep.
When he fought Undertaker.
Obviously, Triple H with Motorhead.
Yeah, like
Like,
we
yeah,
mentioned,
oh,
any of the
there's so
Motorhead
many.
ones, they're fantastic. I just
yeah,
kinda,
actually, the CM Punk
The
one.
CM
was
Punk
actually
one is good because you had to actually book that band, which is you got to book the proper. You don't just have any band playing the tune.
Yeah, doing a cover of it almost.
Yeah, book the actual band and play it because the CM Punk tune is actually like a good band.
Yeah.
Actual legendary
Yeah,
band.
DX with Rage Against the Machine and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's super cool.
yeah.
That's-
it's like-
Zach De La Rocha is the man.
Yeah, like,
yeah, he is. Hundo.
I guess if it's done right, I like it.
Then you like
but
it,
it's
yeah.
interesting because we were talking about it, and that one WrestleMania that Mike was talking about earlier with DX. I remember when the band played.
Yeah.
You know what? I wasn't a big
What
fan.
was that,
I felt
15?
like-
Is that 15?
It's where Austin won the title.
15.
Yeah.
So,
That
but that's
sounds
kind of
about
like the
right.
introduction to the. Like, it's kind of like not that good of a sound and all that, but it's kind of.
I just felt like I remember the guy being very like lazy almost
Yeah,
in his
it's kind of like
performance.
like a punk ass kind of though.
And I was
you
like,
know
what is this? I remember watching it being like, what?
But it kind of adds to the Attitude Era.
No, I love the music. Yeah.
Because like the old school guys were like, what's this rock and roll guy?
Yeah.
He's like a punk ass who doesn't care about the WrestleMania performance.
Yeah.
But when DX comes out, he's doing his thing, going
Mm-hmm.
hard. I remember watching that. I watched it a couple months ago, and I was like, "This is kind of like the introductory to the Attitude Era."
Yeah.
15, because I used to think like 17, 18 was when everything was going nuts, but
But it's
15
more
is
15
No,
was the
15,
beginning.
yeah. Well, yeah, with Tyson and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come
Yeah.
on, like yeah.
That's
it's
definitely when
real
it started.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into the match, we had Booker T, Kane, Y2J, and HBK were in the pods, with RVD and Triple H kind of starting the match out. I know a few of us here are kind of big fans of RVD, and we're kind of saddened to hear that he's not going to be able to have any more matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Don't want to get too negative, but we all like RVD as well as Triple H. But I mean, I'm not the biggest fan, but I respect him for what he's done for the business. Any thoughts kind of on picking these two to start and going into the match a little bit? Anybody want to bring anything up specific?
Yeah, I really liked it actually because I do remember these two having a feud around this time actually
Okay.
for that world title. So I thought it made like perfect sense for them to start with those two.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That does sound like it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I thought Kane or someone was going to start, but obviously you already knew what was going on. Right?
Yeah.
So, because I was all new to that too, right? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
Didn't
it
they
was
have
great.
like a hardcore match? Him and Triple H. Or
They
like
had a
ladder
few.
match?
They had a few different matches. I remember. Yeah, they had a few. I remember like them feuding for that title a good bit though. I remember Van Dam challenging him on Raw and
Yeah.
had another pay-per-view even. Yeah.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam got a good run. He was in a tag team with Kane at the time, I think, though. in this
Yes, I
match,
think
and
you're
they
right.
Didn't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't have any play on that at all in the whole match.
Yeah, that was interesting. You brought that up.
Rob Van Dam was in the match the whole time, and
you said they were a tag team. Were they a tag team then or after? I think it was more or less after because SummerSlam of the following year after. SummerSlam of 2003. I think that's when Kane. That's when Kane was unmasked.
I mean, he hits him with the Van Terminator off the rope.
Yeah, that was.
Thank God he had the mask for that.
Thank God is right. But yeah, it was good. I had a note that they kind of were battling a lot outside the ring on the steel. I'm sure that's something that Triple H was a key contributor.
You're really not a Triple H fan.
No, I'm just not. I like wrestling in the ring, and it is what it is. It's just points. It's talking points. You know what I mean? It brings up conversation for us to talk about, and it's something that I noticed. And he did blade or get some color early.
He did.
I don't know what the actual bump was, if it was onto the steel or not, but I did notice that.
I believe he was already busted up. He was wearing a Band-Aid backstage, I think.
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
But I think he was still busted up from the previous match
the
or
night,
something.
yeah, or the Raw before, I'm not sure.
Totally makes sense.
There was a cool spot where RVD kind of climbed up on top of Y2J's pod, and Y2J kind of
flipped him the bird first,
flipped
too.
him the bird.
Rob Van Dam gave him the finger first, and he climbed up.
And
Jericho said,
then
nope.
Yeah, he kind of held him in there and
grabbed his leg and pulled him down.
His leg, and Triple H laid a beating on him.
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely a good spot.
And then Jericho was the next in the chamber, and they beat his ass for a good 5 minutes.
No, it was Jericho was out after Booker. No, I think Booker came out first and then Jericho. I could be wrong.
No, Jericho.
Jericho was out first.
Jericho
and then it was a two kind of handicap style.
You're
right.
And then Booker's a face came in and
kind of cleaned house for a little bit there and tossed everybody.
Maybe like a minute.
Even got a spin-a-rooney in there.
Yeah.
Even got a little spin-a-rooney in there too.
Spin-a-rooney and MSG.
He did twice too, I think, didn't he?
Did he?
I think he did
twice.
It times,
The pace was definitely up. It was a high intensity. I don't think there was many slow points of the match until kind of the end when it was down to the last two.
Yeah.
There was that rough frog splash that RVD took off the top of the pod.
Yeah,
he
kind of jacked up one of his foot. I think
it was his knee. Remember what I was saying? That was look at his leg when
it
he
definitely
lands.
didn't look soft or clean. I don't know. Rough
That's
spot.
crazy though. Like that's still nuts no matter what. Anyways,
not taking any credit away from Rob Van Dam. That's not something I would attempt, and it was still, a cool move. It just could have been executed better and cleaner, I guess.
I don't think he had the height, the space.
Yeah, that's what I think it was.
Absolutely, with the roof of the cage being there as well.
Is that
for sure.
He was a little more awkward in an awkward position there, basically.
Shortly before Rob Van Dam's elimination from the missile dropkick from the top rope.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that up too, because I wanted to talk about that. That was weird. I was gonna even before we had the 1, 2, 3 from Booker T on Rob Van Dam. I was gonna ask, like, Booker T doing top rope drop kicks. You guys mentioned he did do that from time to time.
Yeah, I feel like it was more of a big match thing where he pulled it out. Like I clearly remember it. I remember when he faced Triple H at Mania.
At 19,
him doing it. Yeah. So it was a big match. Take a high risk. Why not?
Yeah, right? Still odd to see RVD go out.
On
a 1, 2, 3 with a drop kick like that. Great point, Mike.
Yeah. After a good showing, he was the first one in the chamber.
Yeah, that's good.
Maybe that's kind of how they told the story. I guess he got his stuff in at the beginning and got to go out first. And
he's a good underdog that always he's like I don't know. He always wins when he's not supposed to, but he's tough.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree for sure. The next person out of the match, I think. Who did we have next? Was it Kane that came out?
Yes, because Shawn Michaels was the last.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels was definitely the last, and there is something I want to bring up about Shawn, but we'll talk a little bit about Kane first. Aside from, you bringing up the RVD thing that I think you mentioned was in the future, was Kane's position, place in this match, was it warranted? Was it significant? Was it good to have a guy like Kane in there?
I think he just played his regular Kane role.
The monster.
He doesn't really need a storyline. He's just you just know he's a badass, and it's the big red. And he was actually the big red machine at this. He was Kane now.
Yeah,
because when he came out,
Kane always, but Kane was serious Kane now.
Looked big too.
At this time, yeah, I agree.
Boy,
I like the gimmick, everything at that point.
The choke slam he lands on Booker T I don't know if he eliminates him. I think Jericho hits a line salt to eliminate him after the choke slam.
Yeah, it was line salt. Yeah,
but the choke slam that he lands on Booker T is nice. And I love the lion salt as a finisher. I think it's great. Yeah,
there was a spot in there with the lion salt. You might as well just talk about it now before we keep going. it was kind of, you were talking about the selling of the lion salt when after we had Kane get eliminated.
Yeah, because he eliminated, I think Booker T got chokeslam and got eliminated with the lion salt.
Lion salt.
And then I don't know who gets. I think someone else gets lion salted to get eliminated. Maybe Kane, maybe not.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the match, HBK gets hit with a lion salt and kicks out, and Jericho gets mad at the ref and pins him twice.
Wow. Which
is awesome. That's just like my favorite. That's why I like Jericho, because that's like cool.
Yeah.
What? He kicked out? The other two guys didn't kick out? They pin him again.
Try it again. Because, great. Like you said, the selling of it being a finisher, you know what I mean? It worked for him twice already. Why isn't it working now? Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Anything to bring up before we get into the kind of the closing of that match and the final three guys in there?
Well, basically, I would say when Kane basically was let out of his pod, he just went crazy, cleaning house, basically.
Yeah.
House.
Jericho, amazing.
I was just about to say.
My favorite Kane is that.
Great point that Zach just brought up there with throwing Jericho into the plexiglass. That was pretty pretty wild. And I'm sure at the time, for fans, they'd never seen anything like that before. I mean, us now, there being lots of chamber matches, throughout the years, I think almost...
it looked way better in that one.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the only one better, I think, is when Goldberg kicks it down.
That was probably... I think that was the second Elimination Chamber at the SummerSlam the next year. Cool spots. I think there was another spot going through. There was a nice catapult from...
Shawn and Triple H.
Yeah, that I love.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I love those old school moves.
Classic move.
It takes two with a catapult. I think that's kind of why I like it so much, because it's really a move that
you don't use it in the ring. You use it in the cage match.
Yeah, or you can use it in the ring going into the turnbuckle or something like that. There's places, I agree. There's places where it fits.
It fits in a cage match perfectly, and it's like, that's not a weird move.
Absolutely.
You just catapulted him around into the ape.
I get you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of Y2J beating up Shawn with Triple H. It was kind of a team-up scenario. Was this something that was from beforehand, or was this just kind of two heels beating up to babyface? I know Shawn and Triple H had a feud prior to that, but was there Jericho involved with that at all? Or?
I really think it was like more so, like you said, the two heels just kind of ganging up.
Yeah.
Playing the heel return. He's obviously a babyface, Shawn Michaels.
And
get him that good.
I guess, had Jericho and Shawn had any...
later on.
That was later on, that wasn't...
They fight at 19. They fight at
19, and then again they fight in 2008 at some point. I know Jericho thinks that probably is one of the best feuds in WWE history.
19 is really good too. When Jericho hits Sweet Chin Music and cues it up and hits it on him, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Really good. I'm sure we'll take a look back eventually at 19 as well. That's probably one of my favorite Manias to go back and watch, even though I wasn't watching wrestling at that time either. It was definitely a good one.
What I like about the Triple H and Y2J teaming up is they get HBK down and Jericho goes for a cover, but then obviously Triple H pulls him off.
Yeah, because he wants to get the cover.
And then it's not quite a 2-on-1, but it's almost a 2-on-1, and then Jericho gets eliminated with
that's what I was just gonna say. You have a Jericho
Sweet Chin Music
putting the walls in on Triple H after they kind of turn on each other. And then a Sweet Chin Music out of nowhere that was really cool. 1, 2, 3.
I remember you saying about that Sweet Chin Music. I feel like I looked down for a second and kind of missed it. The way you talked about it, I wish
you can picture it. He has him in the walls. So he gets
and it
tagged.
was kind of one of those ones where the camera didn't catch it. You were just focused so much on Jericho.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah.
That all of a sudden there was a face in Jericho's face, or a foot in Jericho's face.
He had such a good showing. This guy eliminated like 2 or 3 guys. Was about to eliminate Triple H with the walls. Sweet Chin.
He definitely probably had, like you
Jericho's
mentioned
awesome,
during the match, Mike, probably the best showing in the chamber match.
I was just about to say that.
And if RVD didn't get eliminated, like with a missile drop kick, maybe he would have had a great showing too, I think, too.
Yeah.
Although he did.
He did, I think, have a good showing, and he kind of just went out where
he just kind of
they planned for him to go out. Any other stuff before we get right into Triple H and Shawn kind of battling it out?
No, I'd like to get into that.
Yeah, I basically just had it. This is a battle. I mean, they were both kind of bloodied.
Yeah, it was awesome, actually. I really liked this at the end.
It was cool.
Yeah, Shawn was split pretty good.
I love some color.
Quick point about Shawn before we talk about the fight itself. Did you guys like this gear? It was a bit different.
Yeah, cowboy boots, eh?
Yeah, cowboy boots and brown tights, and it was a bit different.
Yeah.
I didn't realize when I was a kid, obviously, but now I just look back. Of course, I like it now because it's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think he was trying something new at the time, like with new, not changing his gimmick completely, but just going for a different look?
Might not have had the shit pressed up.
That's true.
You never know. He just had brown tights and cowboy boots. He doesn't need. It's Shawn Michaels.
Well, he did have his little logo on the tights, right? But I think he was maybe just trying something new.
Possibly,
yeah. He had the short hair. You never know what he was doing.
Yeah.
I think he might have forgotten.
The hair was definitely...
Well, this was early in the comeback.
Reminiscent.
I feel like this is probably
real early.
Second pay-per-view match, honestly.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, in that sense, he's trying something.
Because the match he had with Triple H at that SummerSlam was a street fight, and he was wearing jeans.
Yeah.
You know when he had like the Bible verse on the shirt?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
You're right. He was wearing the jeans that night too. So I think he was trying something.
But the jeans HBK is sick.
Oh,
HBK.
I love that. Especially, I brought this up before. I feel like in a street fight scenario, for a guy to come in with jeans and some tape is perfect.
It's fitting.
Oh,
it works perfectly.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, a quick point I wanted to bring up about the finish of the
match.
Yeah,
we can go. I was gonna say let's go right into the finish of the match, kind of the super kicks.
Well, there was a nice little spot in there where Shawn and Triple H were going back and forth with the punches, and I remember Shawn, he was leaning towards the ropes, and he almost fell into the ropes, and then bounced into Triple H. Triple H tried to go for the pedigree. It was just amazing. Yeah. Amazing sell job by Shawn Michaels. I was gonna say, always, but
selling by Shawn Michaels, you're not gonna get any better.
Two best friends in the ring doing what they are the best at, which is amazing.
I just thought it was great because he was so spent. He didn't run to the ropes. He just kind of fell back
and then
leaned forward. Yeah.
There's also some play when Shawn was about to hit Sweet Chin Music, and Shawn was the last entrant.
Yeah.
And Triple H had been already in the match, so he's gassed. And HBK was about to hit Sweet Chin Music. He reversed it into a pedigree.
Yeah.
Hit the pedigree. And I know you don't like kicking out of finishers, but Triple H had lay there for a good, 20 seconds.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Rolled over, flopped the arm on him. And by then, it had already been 45 seconds before he got hit with the
Which
pedigree.
I'm fine with. It's more the constant...
And he kicked out, yeah, of course, which was just the perfect execution of kicking out of a finisher.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
And then, when he kicked out, they'd played that Triple H is already gassed and hit the pedigree, but Shawn Michaels is still charged, even though he just got a pedigree.
He didn't hit him with the bar empty.
He hit him with the sweet chin and almost fell on him for the cover. It was just great, how the way they...
Yeah, the way they played the finish off, I think, was amazing.
It's amazing because they sell powerful moves and how gassed they are, which is crazy, and it's just awesome.
Especially when you have blood pouring out of you.
It's like a 45-minute match, and everyone knows the story between Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Obviously, it's going to be them at the end, which is great. Jericho smashed it for 20 minutes. It's amazing.
It was definitely a really good finish for the first Elimination Chamber, especially
for the first time.
Yeah, and having two guys like you said, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, outstanding at their crafts and talents beyond anyone's. They're up there with the tops.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? If not at the top.
No question.
I love the finish. How Shawn, when he hit the super kick, he kind of just fell on him for the 1, 2, 3. It was really
Shawn,
good.
He's the best at that. He's the best at doing that kind of stuff.
For sure. Any other points you guys specifically wanted to bring up about this match or the show in general?
He got
so this one, I don't know.
Is this kind of the show or this match?
Yeah, the show.
Okay, yeah. I think we're pretty much wrapped up with the main event match. I mean, it was great. Definitely a good first chamber. They chose to put it at the right pay-per-view, I think, with not having anything overshadowing it.
Yeah.
But it was good, and we'll get right into it.
And you know what, I guess on that note too, I guess it was fitting to Survivor Series because, the guys have to survive this crazy Elimination Chamber new thing, right?
Well, I noticed a little weird one too. There's a couple elimination matches too.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Yeah, because tables, the tag
matches.
Yeah, and the tag matches.
That's a good point.
So that kind of maybe helps
and
a bit.
Elimination Chamber.
But I'm a fan of the traditional.
I love it.
Yeah,
5-on-5.
Oh, same here.
5-on-5.
I think this pay-per-view can get away with it because of how good it was.
Yes.
Without having...
I mean, we forgot about it.
Exactly. That says something in it.
We forgot about it, so it's good.
Yeah.
Except for Donovan.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's another thing that...
But
okay,
go into what you wanted to bring up.
Point,
absolutely.
I'm interested to hear everybody's take on this, but...
It's kind of a major talking point.
It's a big one.
Every title changed hands tonight. every title changed hands, guys.
The whole night, every title
belt
was a new champion.
hands.
New champion.
New champion in every match. And I was waiting to see if anybody would have caught it. Wow. And I know Jag had kind of...
Yeah.
Well, Jerry said it too. Remember what Jerry said when he was talking to JR?
I didn't pick
all
up
the champions have been... There's been new champions.
Wow,
new
that must have been something, I guess, that went over my head for sure.
Because it's very rare for a pay-per-view.
Definitely doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So
we had the cruiserweight changing, we had the tag titles changing, women's title changing,
Brock
world heavyweight changing, and Brock dropped the title. Wow.
Yeah.
That I'd be curious to kind of look back and...
Especially if you're watching it at the time and you're seeing all these stories being built up.
Yeah,
you're like, you really know who's gonna win. It's just
I almost want to go back and
on?
watch the Raw after, just to kind of, and the SmackDown, just to see the fallout from all the title changes. That would almost be I don't know, maybe a good look back too, but definitely something interesting. That's a really...
Yeah, I remember when we were watching the show, I was thinking, I'm like, wow, you know what? Every title's changing hands right now.
That's what I was thinking myself, and then I just double checked it, and I was like, what the hell?
Yep.
Every title did change hands that night. Like, everyone.
That's... Wow.
It's the magic,
new champion.
Magic of MSG.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess, you know what? When you say that, I bet you that definitely had something to do with it.
What? I liked it. I mean... Are you a fan of this?
Oh, I thought it was good. I don't think
title changes.
Yeah, I don't think this is something that should be done a lot or even often. But it was cool. And hey, I mean, we watched the whole pay-per-view and I didn't even notice it. So clearly, I was more wrapped up in the stories that they were telling me throughout the night than just worrying about if belts were switching hands.
Yep.
And the next Survivor Series was the biggest teams ever.
Yeah, so they had their bases covered there the following year. I think they probably did that knowing that this year they didn't do that, the Survivor Series matches.
They actually had two traditional matches.
Started one off and then finished it,
Any, I want to kind of go around, just anything small, just a kind of a point you can bring up about the show that will stand out. I know we try and do this on every Pro Wrestling Look Back. Just something that you'll remember a year, 2 years, down the line from this pay-per-view. I think myself, it's going to sound kind of small in the grand scheme of how good this pay-per-view was, but being somebody who has never really been a fan of table matches, this match at the beginning, the show opener, really kind of changed my perspective on that, and I know there was a lot of spots, and it was crazy, but to have a match like that with frankly, some wrestlers that I have never been a fan of, I respect Bubba Dudley and Spike Dudley, and even Jeff Hardy, and Rosie, and all the guys that were in this match, but they showed me that you can do a lot with a table match, and it's an odd match that I'm sure some people didn't think would be a good show starter when they put it on paper. Mm-hmm. But then when the execution was there, it really worked out for me.
The tag teams took pride.
Anything for you, Mike, that kind of, just if you had one moment that stuck out from the show?
Shawn Michaels' hair.
The bob.
I'm just kidding.
That's great.
It's my favorite Jericho. I like the Lion's Health as a finisher.
Your favorite version?
Yep,
definitely.
The logo T.
The
the buffed up chest.
Big boy. He's main eventer.
Yeah.
My first WrestleMania was 18 when he had both the belts. So he was.
Yes.
I've seen him as a badass the whole time I've seen him.
He's always going to stand out for you then.
Then I like the glass spots
through the pods.
Yeah, that's cool.
I agree, and it was the first time, right? So that was also different.
Yeah, but since you guys brought it up, like the one thing that really stood out to me was back then compared to now. There's a lot of better build up of
the packages
before the match.
Yep,
it's a good point.
But there's music. The music is actually, especially for the one thing that really caught me big time, I would say, was the package just for the Elimination Chamber. With all the
awesome.
It went so well.
It went sold so well. The chamber. You could show that to somebody without not even seeing any of the build up and say, watch this, and they would be excited to watch that match, I think.
That's the one thing that really got me, that I could say would be carried on.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I agree with you. Like, I think it was the music more than anything, because it was just like I wasn't familiar with it either, so that was kind of strange. But the other one had nothing to do with matches. It was just the Randy Orton situation.
Hey, I asked you what's going to stick out for you, and that's definitely something that will probably stick out for all of us.
But like, look where he is now and stuff, right? But that was just
like,
very, very, very strange looking at that. So, but
for sure.
I don't know, but other than that, though, everything was good.
Yeah,
it was a nice pay-per-view.
I thought it was really good.
So, yeah.
Donovan?
Okay, yeah, for me, I want a siren, like, because Scott Steiner, for me, I love the Scott Steiner segment. I just love the reaction he got from the crowd. It was cool. I'm a Steiner fan. And also that women's match. I was a fan of that women's match, man. It was cool. The hardcore.
Yeah.
Other than the quick finish.
The quick
I really
finish.
enjoyed the match.
Yeah. I think we talked about a lot how the finish kind of made more sense after we talked about it.
Yeah.
Being, with all the weapon bumps that were taken in the match prior.
Yeah. Really good, because it's not often you see a hardcore women's match like that. And they were really going at it.
Like, really good.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if they have
women's
a good women's match,
revolution.
they're going to let you know.
Yeah.
No, go ahead and let me know, but they didn't.
They didn't have to let us know.
They went hard.
I know what you mean.
They didn't have to let you know nothing. You already knew damn well that they went hard there.
Yeah.
To Trish and Victoria, that's good shit.
Yeah. Overall, with the pay-per-view, though, like, solid show, man.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm really happy we chose this
everyone.
one to kind of look back at, especially with Elimination Chamber coming up this month, February 2018. Yep. It's kind of topical and relevant, and it was a good pay-per-view to watch, and I'm happy that we got to sit down and watch it and look back. I just wanted to do our shout-outs on Twitter, unless anybody else has anything they want to say about the pay-per-view.
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good, too. It was good.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at PW LookBack, Instagram at PW LookBack, subscribe to the YouTube channel Pro Wrestling LookBack, and if you want to email, do that as well, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. We really thank you for listening if you have this far along. We really enjoyed doing the show, and we'll have plenty more lookbacks from us coming in the future on YouTube and other platforms. I'm Nick.
I'm Donovan. Stay classy.
I'm Younger.
I'm Jack.
I'm Mike D.
Thanks for joining us.